Lean in a little bit, I think. Hey, everybody. Dr. Bulow here, and welcome to another episode of Testimonial Tuesday. We do these interviews with patients of ours here out of Cranberry at the Revive Upper Cervical Clinic, and I have the pleasure of introducing you to Doug. So say hi, Doug.
Hello.
So Doug's been a patient with us for how long now?
About almost a little over 2 months, I believe.
Yeah. And in this clinic, and you have to excuse the lighting, I thought the outside was so pretty that we would try it, but it looks like the lighting's changing a little bit. But in this clinic, we go through phases of care, kind of like braces, And so the first 2 to 3 months is the first phase. And a lot happens in that phase. Your body's going through a lot of changes and all that. And Doug is coming from a history of...
I had a car actually in my company truck. Someone rear-ended me back in 2007.
Yeah. And what have you been going through since then, since 2007, up until the point that you came in here? What's been some of the issues that have been going on?
After the accident, I went through therapy, physical therapy, and then I actually had 2 neck surgeries, and they actually fused C3, C4. Then after that, I was, felt better, but I still experienced like chronic neck pain for like years.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that most people are afraid to seek out chiropractors or physicians or therapists whenever they have a fusion. You had C3 and C4 fused. How did you hear about Revive Upper Cervical here?
It's kind of ironic. Actually, I work in Green Tree, and it was from a pharmacist that's actually, she's a patient and her daughter's a patient.
Yeah, I remember that now. You just went up, you were getting a prescription for your pain pills or muscle relaxers or things like that?
Exactly, yeah. And I just asked her, I was just asking her some questions, and she mentioned as far as Revive out in Cranberry, and I live like only 2 miles from here, so it actually
That's wild how that
perfect.
Works. Yeah. And so what has the process been like for you? For those of people who don't know, that might be in your shoes, they're a little bit nervous, especially if you have a fusion, you've been through an accident, you don't know who to go see for it and this and that. What was that process like for you in the first few days, the first few weeks while you're under care?
Well, that's exactly right. That was one thing I was afraid of. But, after my first initial visits, from what we talked about before that, I knew it wasn't going to be something like a normal quote chiropractor. It was like very careful as far as actually how, he took care of me and, as far as evaluated me.
Yeah, we do.
Which was really good.
We do some pretty in-depth analysis. There's a 3-dimensional CT scan that we take when indicated. We do infrared imaging that we do before and after every session. How would you describe the adjustments, the corrections of the alignment of the neck? Are they forceful? Are they painful?
It was like nothing hardly.
Yeah.
It was like to the point in as far as what your issue was. The doctor knew exactly what to do, and then after the adjustment, you actually rest for like 15, 20 minutes, and everything's tracked as far as on the computer, and you know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, there's benchmarks, before and after and over time. I like to tell people in the community that it's your health, but it's also our reputation. So we want to make sure that we have things to measure so that we can predict where you're headed and not just cross our fingers and hope you get there, but make sure that we're actually headed in the right direction. I really appreciate you taking the time, Doug. Is there anything that you would, I always like to try and give people the last word, so to speak, in terms of anything else that you'd want to share with folks that may be watching that are in the community, or, whether they're local or out there just trying to find some answers. Anything else that you'd want to share?
It's been, just looking back over the past 2.5 months, as far as Dr. Bulow and as far as all the staff, they're wonderful. They'll...
Appreciate that.
They do. I never missed a visit, but they're very accommodating as far as if you need to change something. Mm-hmm. And, it's, I went through, like 12 years as far as pain. And, like you mentioned in the beginning, I was always afraid as far as a chiropractor, but I have, no fear at all as far as, my care, and it's actually really helped me a lot.
That's awesome, Doug. I really appreciate you sharing and taking the time. I really, really do. If you guys have any questions for myself or even for Doug, please you can leave it in the comment section of this video. I'll be sure to pass it on if it's for Doug. or if you know, Doug, you can check in on the Facebook page, or if we put this on YouTube, that sort of thing. But please do ask questions. Please do share this. You never know who might be in your life that has a similar sort of situation looking for answers. And as always, thanks for hanging out today. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys. Bye now.